they can't take it. The Twitter files, the shit libs on Twitter cannot take it. The establishment Democrats cannot take it. And so they're doing two things. They're trying to pretend it's not a big deal, that we found out that Twitter's in bed with the intelligence community, the government, political parties, to censor people and break their own rules and then lie about it. They're trying to pretend like that's not a big deal. And they're also trying to, well, here, he says, conservatives, the reach of our tweets is being limited by a progressive Twitter workforce. Democrats say that's an insane conspiracy theory. Barry Weiss, here are the documents proving this. Democrats, everyone knew this already. It's all together now. It's a Nothingburger. So that's what they're saying. That's the new thing. We already knew this. We knew that. That's how that. We knew that they were moderating content. We want them to.
Oh, that's what it was. It don't seem moderate with how they moderated it, do they? Death of expertise moment. Yes, it is, Tom Nichols.
So here's how they say it. Barry Weiss is literally in the middle of a breathless Twitter files thread describing Twitter implementing the exact policy that Elon Musk said he was going to institute 3 weeks ago.
Wait, did you see what that guy just said before? It's not on this one. What's his name? Tom Nichols. Looked at new Twitter policy is freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. That's the only thing dumber than Nothingburger. But he said it's the death of expertise. Oh, yeah. You see that?
Where is this?
The big reveal
where
about
are you
Twitter.
Reading? Okay.
Yeah, that
is a classic death of expertise moment. People who didn't know about something until now assume not knowing about it means that it was a huge secret.
That's the literal definition of a huge secret.
It was.
A bunch of people didn't know about it, and you think that's a huge secret. What do you think a secret is, Tom Nichols? What an idiot.
What, he's acting like, because I don't know how nuclear fusion works, that it's a secret. No. Oh. That's not a secret.
Oh, is that what he's trying to say?
That's what he's trying to say, because you didn't know about it. No, people... And he's saying that just because you didn't know about it didn't mean you couldn't find out about it. Yes, that we couldn't find out about it, Tom. That's why we have to do Twitter files. Nobody knew about this, Tom.
Yeah, I'd like more of these death of expertise moments, and I'd like to piss on its grave.
And that's another one. So that's the thing. They're trying to pretend like, no, so this is my favorite. This is someone named Ashley Feinberg. She said, so when Barry Weiss tweeted this out, she says, a new Twitter files investigation reveals that teams of Twitter employees built blacklists, prevented disfavored tweets from trending, and actively limit the visibility of entire accounts or even trending topics, all in secret without informing users. She says this has literally been on Twitter's help page since 2018. She's pretending that this explains this, and I'll read this to you. She says this is the Twitter on Twitter's website about their policy. Abusive and spammy behavior. When abuse or manipulation of our service is reported and detected, we may take action to limit the reach of a person's tweets. She's pretending this is shit. This is not. Those are not. So they're pretending we
said we may take action. That might be burning down a house or whatever. We said we may. That's just.
So but the people that they banned weren't doing abusive or spammy behavior, like Dr. Bhattacharya, which we showed you. The guy from Stanford, the guy leading in his field, who just wanted to tell people that COVID lockdowns were going to harm children. They banned him.
Well, Jimmy, online abuse and spammy experts disagree with you.
Yeah.
Many experts say that it is abusive.
So this is a lie. So this is someone named Ashley Feinberg, and she's just lying, right? Because she's a partisan hack, and she doesn't have the ability to tell the truth unless it lines up with her partisan view. This is what's called gaslighting and lying. This isn't true. This is all new information to us for them to show us how they were shadow banning people and depressing their results. They would black shadow, and there was several different ways to do it. We didn't know any of this. We didn't know any of this.
I just want to say we all owe Scientology an apology because they have very moderate responses to things compared to these scumbags and more reasonable views.
Here's what David Sachs says. New narrative. They weren't shadow banning political opponents. They were just enforcing the spam policy. That's what they're really trying to say. That's what Ashley Feinberg is really trying to make you believe. Would you ever believe anything Ashley Feinberg ever tells you again in your fucking life?
Oh, I don't do my own research, so I wouldn't know about it.
This person says, hey, could you please point out how this Stanford professor was being abusive or manipulative? Because we showed you Dr. Bhattacharya got banned from Twitter, and he asked, well, where was that doctor from Stanford being abusive or manipulative? And of course, she didn't return. She answered everybody's questions in this thread except this guy.
Oh, well, we define what abuse and manipulation is, obviously, sir. Why would you even ask a stupid question?
Glenn Greenwald wraps it up. He says, not comparing the stories, but I watched Obama supporters do the same thing with the NSA story. In 2009 to 2013, me and others said the NSA is mass spying on Americans. The Democrats said that's an insane conspiracy theory. Then the Snowden docs proof that it was real, and then the Dem says, duh, everybody knew this. It's a Nothingburger, that they're doing an exact same playbook.
That's what, I mean, I don't remember if I thought exactly that, but I definitely had an attitude of like, you're kind of a jerk for revealing it. South Park did where Cartman is the Snowden. It's like, yeah, they were doing something bad, but it sucks that he went in there to try to expose. It's such a don't go against the church just because there's a few molestations mentality, and they could just program it. It's just throughout society, like be loyal to the group.
Are you saying even South Park got it wrong?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
here's another thing. The thing to understand about the Hunter Biden laptop story was that it was supposed to be the Trump campaign's October surprise. Mainstream media and social media were supposed to take the bait and focus on the appearance of a scandal for the last weeks of the election. There is a scandal.
Parody account.
So this is what we're talking about. This is the bullshit. And then he goes, they didn't take the bait, meaning the media companies. The New York Post story was shunned. Social media platforms treated it as manufactured propaganda with questionable sourcing, which was wrong. It wasn't propaganda, and the sourcing wasn't questionable.
And now they admit it, by the way.
And now they all admit it.
And conservative elites have been pissed ever since. How do they feel now that it turned out to be entirely true and it's proven?
Musk and Taibbi are tapping into that well of resentment.
Good.
That's good, right?
I'd like someone to do that.
What's wrong with that?
That's just, oh my God.
Why should we care about the president's adult failed son who doesn't work in the administration? The reason why we should care is because it revealed possible corruption between him and his father, Ukraine, Russia, and China. That's why we should care.
He gives half his income to his dad, as he states in the emails for some reason.
10% to the big guy.
Yeah. No. His complaint to his sister, like, you don't have to give half everything you make to dad, Ashley. He's like, you don't know what it's like.
Oh, really?
There's so many things in there to look at. Yeah.
The media didn't take the bait. No fair. That's the scandal. So this is what people are saying. It's just nuts. Here, he's got one more. He says they're going to keep bitching about it for years. It's going to be louder and emptier than the Benghazi hearings. The scandal is that their clever propaganda efforts sank like a lead balloon. And that has to be someone else's fault. That's it. That's the whole thing. Well, first of all, if they've done surveys now, and they know that if that story would have actually gotten out and people knew it was true, which it is, it would have depressed Joe Biden's electoral votes 16%. So he probably would have lost the election. So now social media suppressing that story is now fucking with the election. Go ahead.
Here's why Dave Carr parody account, you're a piece of shit. Who cares if media took the bait? I don't care what they choose.
What? The bait?
What I care about is somebody tried to force people that did want to report it not to be allowed to talk about it. Not to be allowed
to report it.
Who gives a shit if the media? Nobody cares about that. You suppress the people that did want to do it.
I don't need you to pre-read a story for me to make sure it's okay for me to read. I could just read it, and I can decide. You don't have a superpower. And by the way, if that story is so bad that it's going to affect me in a negative way, which is why you have to stop me from reading it, that means that's why you suppress it and you censor it, because if I read it, it'll affect me negatively. Well, the person who did read it at Twitter, how come it didn't affect them negatively? What superpower do they have to be able to read this kind of stuff and not have it affect them? Aren't I just as strong as the person?
No.
I'm pretty strong. I've never felt more masculine in my life than I was playing a video of that old guy.
No, it's because you're a deplorable peasant, Jimmy, like most of America, and they can't be told little things, the little people.
So This has 15,000 likes,
He
by the
ended
way.
it with Finn in parentheses. Like that's
Like
his
Finney. Like
Whatever.
I just want to let you know, this has 15,000 likes. So people are. This is the sentiment of the Democrats in the country. Michael Tracy says the Nothingburger crowd must have missed this one. Jim Baker had previously been at the heart of Russiagate chicanery as general counsel of the FBI. Then, serendipitously, he was hired at Twitter and is right at the heart of their internal process of Russia-related censorship. So the guy who was caught making up bullshit Russiagate stuff is now over at Twitter in charge of censoring Russiagate stuff. That's a huge scandal. This is a huge scandal. Molly Jong Fast. So if you ever want to know what's not right, go to her. If you want a bad take, you go to Molly Jong Fast. She grew up privileged, never had to do a fucking thing on her own, and everything she thinks is wrong. And here's another example of it. She says, I'm going to dinner now. Let me know what they find in Geraldo's safe.
It was, first of all, Capone's safe, you moron.
Yeah, it was Capone's safe.
Get that right.
It was Capone's safe, and they're so that's more of this, trying to pretend like this is nothing.
Look, how do you be that smug and cock that up that bad that you forgot whose safe Geraldo went into?
So this is what this is called. This is called defending the establishment, which she is perfectly centered in. She is the establishment. Molly Jong Fast is she is going to speak for them. She is in their class. She's been rich her whole fucking life in that class of people. She never had to knock on a door by herself. She had every door open for her in her life. And she's there to protect. She's not an attack dog of the establishment. She's a watchdog. She's a guard dog for the establishment. And so when someone like Matt Taibbi actually breaks a story that reveals corruption inside the establishment, she's there to defend them. That's what this is.
And how much you want to bet she's another one of these like Ben Collins people that nobody knows their background until you know.
I know her background.
What is
her
it?
mother was a famous writer, and so she's born a silver spoon in her mouth. And
what is it?
go look her up.
Yeah, Jong Fat. What's her name?
Molly Jong.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I used to wonder about. Like,
So this person says, I have little patience for anyone who says, "Oh, this is a nothing burger." Twitter's top executives lied. They lied to their users. They lied to Congress, and it's now a proven certainty. Twitter acted on requests from political actors to suppress speech. This is a big deal.
Molly Jong Fast is a contributing editor for the Daily Beast, an author of 3 books.
None of them good.
The first one is called "I Must Be Really Stupid."
So there you go. So I don't need to read any more. There you go. There's your shit libs having a meltdown over actual scandal, trying to pretend it's not real.
Sounds like a Catholic church. Oh, we barely molested you.
Oh, we barely. Hey, we're doing live stand-up comedy in Los Angeles, December 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. And we're going to be in Tempe, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Nashville. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets. See you there.